How do we live forever? That is question for number 108 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get a full listing of all 144 of those fractal faculties, just put a comment in the comment section with your email, and I'll send that out to you for free. Also, if you'd like a to understand a little bit more about the tree before you start in on all these videos, just to get an intro, just watch my video called Tree of Life, an Introduction. I also have a short book on Tree of Life called the MASSTree, and that is for sale for $10. You send me $10, I'll send you that also. Okay, now here we are talking about number 108, and this is the Tree of Life. And just remember that the Tree of Life is basically a map of our consciousness, and each one of these circles on the tree is an aspect of our consciousness, or a faculty of our consciousness, a potentiality of our consciousness. There are 12 of them. They are numbered 0 through 10, and there is also a thing here called the abyss. So that's a total of 12 different faculties, or major faculties of the Tree of Life. And today we're looking at number 3, because that is where number 108 is located. Okay, it's within the third sphere. And the third sphere is one of our 3 divine faculties. And they go, 3 is omnipotence, all powerful. 2 is omniscience, all knowing. And 1 is omnipresence, all present, all at once, eternally. And I guess technically 0 is a divine sphere too. So the third sphere, omnipotence, all powerful. This is here over on this pillar, and this pillar really corresponds to auditory phenomena, sound, and this really corresponds to vision, seeing, and the third sphere corresponds to our ability to accomplish anything humanly possible. And we can facilitate that through sound synchronization. And one of the ways that we do that is through mantra, chanting mantra, using sound not as meaning or as, metaphor, image conjuring, but or poetry, but more as power. The sound has no meaning, but it has power. The way you think about this is an athlete, or really anybody who uses sound as power. When you are about to serve a tennis serve, you grunt. You grunt to get that little bit of extra power. Or if you're trying to lift a weight that is just a little bit too heavy, you make a sound, and you're able to conjure up a little bit extra. Or if you just relax and you say, ah, that kind of lets off the pressure. And so that's a crude example of using sound as power. Now, each one of the letters of the alphabet corresponds to a different, or basically each one of the spheres on the Tree of Life corresponds to a different letter complex in the alphabet. And then you ground the sound with an NG or an M at the end to kind of plant it into the ground. So that's where you get a chant like Om. Om. AU corresponds to this first sphere. And then the M is to ground it. So Om is what you would do if you want to conjure this first sphere. and uh, generally use that before every chant, because that the first sphere corresponds to the higher self. So that basically puts you in the space of the higher self, and then you use another sphere to use for the chant. So a chant, the seventh sphere, for example, corresponds to cling, KL. So KLING. And so you would use a chant like Aung Kling. And that both brings out this higher self at the center, and then also the seventh sphere qualities. And also with the seventh sphere, vis-a-vis the third sphere, our omnipotence. This is demonstrated by the fulfillment of our higher calling in life, which we declare, we become aware of and declare to ourselves, at least at the seventh sphere. And by using all the mantra chanting and other sound synchronization practices and other spiritual evolution practices, we are able to actually fulfill our higher calling at the third sphere. So, okay, that's a long version of what we get from the third sphere. Now, the third sphere is one of our 12 aspects or major faculties of consciousness. Now, how do we get from 12 major faculties of consciousness to 144 fractal faculties or minor faculties of consciousness? We take the tree of life to the second power. 12 times 12 is 144. The way we do that is we take the whole tree and we shrink it down to just the size of a sphere. So we can imagine a mini tree going on each one of the spheres, breaking down each one of the spheres into its 12 parts. And when we do that on the third sphere, we have a mini 10th sphere and a mini 9th sphere, a mini 8th sphere, a mini 7th sphere, and so on. And today for number 108, we're really talking about a mini zero sphere at the top of the third sphere. So we're in the general environment of the third sphere, but we're also dealing with the zero sphere. And what does the zero sphere correspond to? Well, the first sphere has to do with everything, the all. It's omnipresent, it's everywhere. The zero sphere has to do with nothingness. It has to do with nothing. And the thing about nothing is that it doesn't exist. Zero does not exist in the universe. It's not part of the universe. There is no zero, and there's nothing. Nothingness exists. Nothingness doesn't exist. And but it does exist outside the universe. So basically the idea is that the zero sphere is part of the creator, but it is not part of the universe. So it is part of the creator that the creator reserves for itself. You can think of it as the creator's private life. It's sharing the whole universe with us, but it's leaving something out that we have no direct access to because it's not part of our universe. Okay, and so we are able to tap into that indirectly by getting us very, very, very still and perceiving this kind of inner peace. And the inner peace is not, just being at peace, but it's being at peace in the most chaotic situations. Just recognizing that the creator is ultimately in control of all of this, and whatever happens is exactly what's supposed to happen. And so you have another level of inner peace there. And all this ties into then number 108, which is called immortality. Immortality stage 108 is about having control over the times of life and death. and keeping our memory intact across the boundaries between them. We are already immortal. We become fully aware of it at this stage. The third sphere is in charge of the life force. Omnipotence includes immortality through mantra. The male side of the third sphere also rules over the death process. Death isn't just the absence of life. Death, like life, is a process by which life units are converted back to inanimate status. By tuning into the divine plan, we can trade in mortal life for immortality. We are all immortal, but we just don't know it yet. Beyond one life, from one cell to multiple cells, we access an infinitude of experiences through an infinite chain of finite existences. Share in infinity through a series or cycle of births. Immortality begins with fifth density, achieved by burning off the realms of the material and cosmic values, those of self-centeredness, excess charity, service to self, and service to others. Like it or not, we are all immortal, but we tend to forget that, which causes all of our previous lifetimes to blur together. To start immortality is not a fountain of youth, anti-aging thing. It is a memory thing. Immortality as lucid living. We remember our death states. Immortality comes in stages. Once we can remember a continuity of lives, then we can get off the wheel of reincarnation entirely. Then we can even regenerate cells and never die at all. We have to be able to eliminate waste through living water, the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth is fruit. Immortality is ours once we have accessed the three dimensions of time. One is memory, one is getting off the wheel of reincarnation, and the third is the regeneration of cells. Survival after death is determined by what we are, not what we have done. But what we are is predicated upon what we have done. We must go through life spending enough time on ethical activities, on spiritual evolution, spiritual improvement, to be able to construct a definite ethical personality. If that ethical complex exists, then we can survive in the death state. We experience, in the death state, we experience exactly what we believe in. If we believe we are immortal, then we will remember through the veil between life and death and experience a continuity of existence. Okay, that is the zero fractal of the third sphere, number 108, immortality. And that is one of the 144 fractal faculties of the tree of life. It means we are 3/4 of the way through. And tomorrow we'll be starting with number 109, which means that we'll be digging into the second sphere, starting with tomorrow. Or the next time I put out this video, which actually could be today, but probably tomorrow. And again, if you'd like to get that free listing of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life, you can leave your email address in the comment section, and I will send that out to you. And if you'd like to buy my book called the MASSTree, which is about it's an intro to the tree of life. I think it's just like 70 pages or something. That's $10, and you can if you give me that in Cash App or Venmo, and you put in the index or whatever it's called, for your book, I will send that to you. You also have to put your email address there too. But if you just want to donate with nothing in return or anything, you can also do that through Cash App and Venmo. Otherwise, stay tuned for future videos on this channel. Again, number 109 is coming up tomorrow. I'll be doing some different stuff here coming up pretty soon that I've been working on. Hopefully, you'll get maybe a few teasers of that in the next week or two. And otherwise, have a great day. It's beautiful out there today where I am. So hopefully that's the same with you, and we hope to see you very soon.